Hi guys, Mel the Train Tutor here again with another product review for you, and in this one we're looking at another MicroArtStudio piece. This is their Barracks piece made of hard foam, resin and MDF. Okay, I'll bring that a bit closer for you. Now, normally with product reviews what I do is I have a good look and I put them together and all that sort of stuff before I film, but what I want to do is just show you the packaging on this because I've had this with a couple of their pieces. Now this is how it comes packaged. Okay, can you see that? Okay, the MDF is warped by the plastic wrapping. And I had this with another one of their pieces and I contacted them and they said it's no problem, we haven't had any problems with it and it all clicked together fine, and it did. So I've got no major concerns. I'm sure this is going to be the same, but I just wanted to show. Now what I want to do is go quickly, cameras down. Right guys, so here we've got the piece, and as you can see on the warping, you know, that's how much it's warped. Now I'll quickly show you something. Yeah, do you remember those pieces of terrain where you build a hill and the sides would warp up, and if you caught it the hill would spin in the middle of the battlefield? Oh, those were the days. Right, so let's pop this open. Yeah, and I'll give you a quick first impression. It's well wrapped. Okay, so two hard foam buildings. Yeah, two resin doors. Yeah, your sheet of laser cut MDF. And your building instructions, which is handy because I'm useless without building instructions. Yeah. Oh, no, sir. Right, quick nose over. Obviously, yes, that's warped. It does look like it's warped a few of the pieces, but I'm assuming that when they clip into place, they'll brace against each other. That's quite light foam. If you've noticed any of my other videos, they mix this stuff by hand, and the darker the foam colour, the firmer the foam. Yeah, but I mean, okay, there's a few bits of damage and that sort of stuff, but nothing major, nothing too excessive. Okay, right guys, what I'm going to do is have a bit of a better play with this, yeah, and then I'm going to come right back and just basically give you my thoughts. So I'll see you in a moment, guys. Right guys, that's the tower all put together. I haven't put the doors on, okay, and I'll explain why in a second. Right, let me just put that to one side and we'll talk through these bits. Right, first off, the doors. Now these are resin cast, okay, hard resin. They're nice cast, to be perfectly honest. I mean, they've got the odd air bubble, they've got a little bit of flash that needs cleaning off, but I have seen far worse from other manufacturers that's built to be far better. Okay, so generally these are nice, and I like these as doors. You know, it'd be quite cool if you could just buy these, to be perfectly honest, because I can think of a few terrain projects where bolting these straight on would be great. Right, now the buildings. Okay, now overall first inspection is the buildings are really cool. Yeah, looking at them, there's slight change in how they've actually done the design of the buildings, and what I mean by that is if you look carefully, yeah, these are curved, okay, and in fact all the top corners are curved, and I'm guessing the reason for that, okay, I'm just trying to give you a decent angle, you can probably tell that it's curved, it's not a sharp angle. The reason for that is if it was a sharp angle, it sort of works as a step and air bubbles can get trapped in it. Whereas with it being a curve, yeah, when they pour it in and the air bubbles can roll up the side rather than being sort of trapped and there being some sort of, I don't know the scientific word for it, but there's sort of a force of attraction that holds the bubble there so it can't go further up when it's angular. But with it being curved, it rolls straight up. And the upside of that is that there's next to no bubble damage on all the prominent areas on the top, which compared to some of their other molds, yeah, which have angulars, they do have bubble damage, you know, little holes where, you know, the foam hasn't gone in. Yeah, they're a nice design. the buildings are. You know, they're detailed at the front as well, even though the doors go on, which is something that the radar station wasn't, so I like that. There's a little bit of damage, you know, on here, and if you look round on one of the pieces, that one's still got a bit of the moulding, so that'll need cleaning out. But you know, compared to a lot of their other foam pieces, really nice. And I was really looking forward to having a go at this kit because I had big hopes it would be like one of those kits where, yeah, this is brilliant. But I've sort of come across a cropper, and let me show you. Now, I don't know if you can tell, yeah, but look at these sides and this side. They're actually beveled. Seriously. I know the best way to show you. Right. There you have the front, okay, and you can see that you've got details here, details there, flat there, and the flat there is to fit the door in. Now, watch what happens when we fit the door in. Yeah? See that gap? Let me try it with a different one. Try it with this one. Yeah? Just position my hands for you guys because I want you to be able to see this. Now the resin is flat, yeah, so you can see there's a bevel, and it's the same on the back. I mean, if I put that there, you can see it's beveled out. And you could say, well, it's not a major issue, and you know, if you're ready just to whack them on and you know, throw some paint on, that's fine. But yeah, when you combine it with something else, now this is when when they sit in the recesses, because they've got pre-cut recesses for the door to fit in, and there's two notches at the top that these two notches fit in. The problem is, yeah, the floor of the door sticks out further than than when it's in place, further than the base. Yeah, and it's a good 3 mil. Yeah, and this compounds that problem. Okay, so you've got a choice. You either sit it on top of where it's supposed to sit, and then you get those sort of gaps either side of the door. Yeah, I need to practice this, I think. Yeah. Or you sit it in and you're going to have to build the base up. And this is the same on both of them. Both doors, both pieces. Yeah, that one sticking out. That one sticking out. You can see the lip there. Yeah, that one sticking out. And that's a real shame. A real shame, to be perfectly honest. Because if they were just flat, yeah, these would be brilliant pieces. But what that means is basically you're going to have to put the door on, and then you're going to have to work filler into all the gaps or green stuff, yeah, to seal it off, which is a bit, you know, too much work. I mean, these are retailing approximately about, I think, £23, okay, for the set. That's what I've seen them for. And, you know, I shouldn't have to, guys. You know, I know foam terrain can have, you know, the occasional issue, but you know, this corner's actually lifted up. You know, so if I put it flat, there's a gap under there. Only a small one, but it's there. You know, this rocks as well. I can sand it down, but I shouldn't have to be perfectly honest, guys. But other than the doors and that sort of wedge, they're nice moulds. They're really nice. The detail's good on them. It's crisp. Oh, but they're the buildings. Now, a quick couple of measurements. They're running approximately 5 inches across by 6 inches long and 3 inches up. Okay, and that's when you include the door in with them. Yeah. Right, so let's go over onto the onto the MDF tower. Now it's put together. I really like it. Yeah, it's quite a funky thing. It's in the right scale. The design is right, to be perfectly honest. It feels right. Yeah, which is with guard towers can be quite challenging, actually. You know. Right, let me take you through it. It's approximately 4 inches square. Okay. The lid comes off. You've got easy room in there for, I'd say, squad of 5, 6 on standard inch bases. Yeah, you may be able to squeeze more in. I haven't tested it as of yet. The roof height is good enough for. Let's try you. Yeah, you're going to have no problem getting the majority of your models actually in there. You're not going to have that cocked roof situation with it. Now, that's the basic form and function. Now, if you notice, I've got black tape on, and at the start, what we said, is the warping going to affect it? Yes, it is. Okay, these bits were warped, okay, and I've had to hold them in place with black tape while it glues. Not a major issue, but it's something you need to be aware of. You know, it's a relatively easy fix. Okay, to be truthful, the whole kit in general, yeah, was quite challenging to put together. Now, when I did the radar dish, all I needed was a file, yeah, and a blade, and that was simply just to clean up the edges and occasionally file a lug where it was a little bit stiff. I had to file and cut every lug on this kit, yeah. Even after I'd filed and lugged them, I ended up using this to get the kit in place, literally to hammer certain things in place, because there was no way I could use my thumbs, yeah, without risk of breaking it. Yeah, and that's excessive. You know, I've not got much experience. You know, I've got next to no experience with MDF kits, but you know, I'm sure that shouldn't be the case. In fact, I know that shouldn't be the case because the radar dish was different. The other thing is this is actually missing some parts, and I'm waiting for the tape to come off before I add these, and it's got these sort of little bits here, yeah, and they just add detail to the front. If you look on the picture, as you can see, they just basically add detail in depth, I think it's called. Now, when I was pushing these out, I had a nightmare with them, and literally virtually all of them split in some way. Yeah, as you can see, these are coming off. Yeah, let me bring that up. Yeah, now there's a good chance it's because of my cutting technique. Yeah, because I'm new to it. So I'm not going to say, oh, this always happens all the time. Okay, because I don't know. Yeah, little tiny bits of this. I've not got any experience of cutting out other than this, so I'm probably doing it wrong. But they do require great care and attention. Yeah, they're not like the other bigger bits, which, you know, you can just cut the you can just cut the little lugs on the underside and just pop them out. So that is the the overview of the tower. Review of the actual set. 2 barrack buildings and a tower for under 25 quid. That is a good buy. I mean, think about it. That is actually a decent buy. The it'd be a brilliant. I'd be raving about it if it wasn't for these beveled edges. I mean, I can forgive having to hammer a few of these in, because it just means you've got to be a bit gentle. Yeah, they've gone in, they do fit, and it does look good. Yeah, that I'm annoyed about. Okay, and it's on both of them. So I'm guessing that it's a standard thing. Now, I can't imagine that they've designed designed this piece to have a bevel there. It makes no sense. So all I can think of is when it's come out of the mold and it's been put down, for some reason perhaps the sides have fallen. Yeah, if anyone at MicroArts can give me an explanation for this, I'd love to hear it, because I think it's a brilliant kit, but that's quite annoying, and people need to be aware that, you know, they're going to have to fill that. Okay, but overall, guys, the Barracks set, considering the amount of time I've spent in them, you think I'd be able to pronounce it properly. The Barracks set, yeah, from MicroArtStudios. Yeah, it does require a little bit of work. It is not for a beginner, yeah, but the molds are clean with a little bit of filler. They're going to look great. The tower looks great, you know, and once it's all finished off, I think it'll look brilliant. An MDF base on the bottom might have been a good idea, yeah, because these are just a little out, yeah, from the warping, but it's barely noticeable, except for me, you know, because, like, I'm OCD kid. Sorry if I've offended anyone out there. But generally, yeah, overall, I've got to say, it's an alright kit. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for a novice. Yeah, but if you've got some modelling experience, go for it, because I reckon once they're painted up, they'll look brilliant. Yeah, to the extent that I am actually considering getting another kit. Yeah, to sort of make a military barracks to have 2 towers, possibly 3. But anyway, guys, that is the MicroArtStudios barrack set. And that's my review of it. I've got more stuff coming real soon with Phone Call Buildings. In the meantime, if you've liked what you've heard, yeah, throw a like on the on the comments on the video. If you've got any questions or any comments, throw them in the comments, guys. I love the comments. I always answer them. Yeah. So seriously, throw them in. Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask anything. You know, there's no such thing as a stupid question, just a stupid person for not asking it. Okay. If you think I've missed anything on this review, throw it in as well. And if you like terrain and that sort of stuff, check out my channel, subscribe. There will be a link somewhere appearing somewhere. You know the crack. And also check out my other product lists, my other product reviews. It's on the product review playlist. Right, I've got other work to do, yeah. So I'm going to put these aside, get cracked on. In the meantime, you have a cracking day, guys, and I will speak to you soon. All the best, guys. Ta-ra.